Alright, what's up everyone? This is NinjaDeathStrike, bringing you another Pokemon TCGO battle. This is another attempt at a live narration, so we'll see how it goes. This is take number 2. My first take was miserable. I drew 1 energy the entire game and basically just sat there and watched all my stuff get plowed through. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time. New deck, this is Murderface, featuring Haxorus, the one and only dragon with an axe for a face. So I wanted to build a deck around Haxorus just because he's a really cool guy, and yeah, he's got an axe for a face, so he deserves some love. This deck is decent-ish. We'll see who I get paired up with. I just lost to a Kyurem variant the game before. Like I said, I didn't draw any energy the whole game. It was about 12 turns in. I had drawn 1 energy, so not much I could do there. I got the rest of my setup, but I just didn't get any energy, so couldn't do anything. Hopefully this time I'll get some more. And there's some. Single Axu lead though, that's a little bit scary, especially if I get paired up with a Zekrom deck. We'll have to see. Okay, 110 cards, that's not too likely. This might be a quick match. We'll have to see what happens. Still, I'm recording it live, so if it's at all good, or if you at least get to see how this deck works, I'll probably still put it up and maybe just put it up as a filler deck. So, alright, he's got an electric deck. Looks like basic yellow with maybe an NV theme deck mixed in there, but I get to go first, so that's awesome. Gonna be able to get set up quickly. I want a Doduo for sure, and another Axu. And I have an Oak, so I don't think I need Cleffa right away. Although, it might not hurt to pull her here. Let me look at my hand. Alright, so I've got 2 catchers, an Oak, and some energy. Actually, I am going to get Cleffa. And I'm going to get Cleffa and Tornadus. Yes, that's what I want. I tend to not get Cleffa and then decide that I need her later, only to have her gone, so I'm going to get her here and go ahead and get her ready. I don't want to lose that DCE though, so I'm going to attach that this turn and then just pass. And if I need to eke next turn, I have that option. So let's see what my opponent is going to do. Energy on this thing, Dynamo. And I wonder if he's got Ampharos Prime and Raichu Prime. That'd be a decent deck. So draw into another DCE. And alright, what do I want to do here? I think I want to... I want to put an energy on Axu. And I want to... Oak. Alright, we got a Collector, Junk Arm. Well, that's not a helpful hand. So, time to eke. And that's why Cleffa's here. Help me get set up a little bit quicker. Good thing I kept her, because I didn't draw into another draw supporter. So, I'm not going to play down that Tornadus. 1 should be enough, especially with the lightning weakness. Don't really need to have him around. And that, of course, means that I immediately draw into another one. But I did get a Doduo as well, and a Sage, so hopefully can start getting set up here this next turn. And let's see what he does. If he evolves that Pikachu this turn, we'll get to see if he has any good cards, or if he's just playing vanilla Raichu. Here comes a Flaffy. And any supporters? That's another good indication of whether or not he's got any good cards. If he plays Bill, we know that we don't have a whole lot to worry about. And hey, there's PCOM. Alright, so let's put down the second Doduo. And let's Sage first. Fire Energy, Sage. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I'm kind of stuck. I cannot get Cleffa out of that active spot since I'm paralyzed. But it does mean that I don't need to worry too much. I can go ahead and evolve into Fracture. I'm going to PCOM out this other Tornadus. Because like I said, Tornadus does not like lightning. And I'll put down a second Axu onto my bench. Because ideally, you want two Haxoruses in this deck. And with Dodrio, they're allowed to retreat freely in and out of each other, and that negates the downside of Giga Impact, since you can just hit with the other one every other turn. So you can do a constant 120, much like the Rashiflosion deck, except worse. But on the upside, you have 140 hit points and no weakness, so that's nice. Here we see another Pikachu. And if anything evolves, we'll get to see if he's got any good cards. I've seen people in the low hundreds that have just basically bought their deck with packs and so don't have a lot of cards, so it's possible but unlikely. Also, the way he's playing suggests he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's spreading his energy around instead of building up one attacker. And I get paralyzed again, of course, because coin flips hate me. So let's take N and Haxorus number 2, just because I don't want to lose him yet. That plus power in my discard is okay because I can always junk arm for it later. And again, we're seeing I don't have a whole lot of energy. I have Tornadus ready to go though, at least once poor Cleffa is finally taken down after triple Thundershock. But we'll see what happens. I should be able to take a prize next turn. And then we'll have to see what he does. I can go ahead and take a prize with Tornadus and then move that fire energy onto my first Haxorus. And then I'll only need a double colorless to start hitting for 120. So there we go. Clef is finally down after 3 turns of torture. And he's going to take the prize lead. But now he actually has to face my guys that do something. So we'll see how he handles that. Hey, a rescue energy. That's nifty. Let's put that... Well, no. Let's not play that because I actually want a DCE. So I'm going to play N here and cross my fingers into drawing a DCE instead. Let's see if that happens. There's Dodrio. Oh, well, I got the rescue energy back, so no harm, no foul. Go ahead and get Dodrio up to set up my free retreaters. And attach to Haxorus. Now, who do I want to take a prize on? This Tynamo is not the most threatening. I think I'm going to take Flaffy out instead, just because it could hurt the worst. Not too scared of Thundershock unless he just continues to flip heads every time, which is a distinct possibility since this is me. And it always seems like my opponent can flip heads whenever he needs it. So let's see what happens. I got that Professor Oak. That'll be nice. Let me hopefully get into an energy, start attacking with Haxorus. Hey, there's Electric, so the first good card from my opponent. Let's see if he can do anything with it. If he's got a Raichu Prime, Electric and Raichu Prime is a solid combination. But instead, he's going to attach to Electric, so guessing that means he's going to evolve it into Electros and ruin the goodness of the Pokepower? We'll have to wait and see. Yep, 3 energy. Uh-oh. We might have an Electros coming down here. Time will tell. Oh, Professor Elm, let's see what he gets. Here's the moment of truth. Waiting. He's going to think about it. Does he go for Raichu or Electros? Alright. Did he not get one? Wow, he didn't pick a card, so either all of his stuff is prized or he just canceled it on accident and then he flips double tails. Poor guy. Alright, well, I'm looking good because I've got a basic energy. And I don't need to Oak yet, so I'm going to actually play this Collector first. Let me see if I've got... Yeah, I do have another Fracture, so grabbing these guys is acceptable because I can P-Calm, get rid of Tornadus, grab Fracture, and next turn I can get my second Haxorus before I use my Professor Oak. So that's fantastic. Hurricane. Goodbye, Pikachu. Nice knowing you. And now Haxorus number 1 is all charged up. And I get a Sage. That'll be nice to have in the deck for later. Alright, here comes Electric on the offensive. What will he do? I really want to see a final stage evolution just because I want to know what kind of deck this is. I mean, it looks an awful lot like modified yellow, but we shall see. Maybe, unless I just KO everything before we get to that point, which is a distinct possibility at this point. Well, there's an attack for 100. And here comes Haxorus number 2. Now, do I want a Sage? Do I want to Oak? I think I want to Sage. How many cards do I have left in my deck? Plenty. Sage it is. Sage is really great for digging deep into your deck and getting the cards you need. I'm actually going to grab this Junk Arm. The Catcher is tempting, but the Junk Arm is more versatile, and I've got lots of stuff in my hand that I don't need anymore. So discarding 2 cards is not going to be a big deal at all. Can do that whenever I want. So let's attach this. And thanks to Dodrio, I retreat for free. So I can retreat Tornadus back to the safety of my bench, go into Haxorus, and Giga Impact for 120. Yes. Bye-bye, Electric. We hardly knew thee. And now it's up to poor Pikachu to take on this mighty dragon. I don't think he's got it in him. We'll have to wait and see what he does here. Maybe there's a miracle card waiting in the wings. If he's got a Raichu Prime and a plus power and an electric energy, he can take me out. Or he could just go for a Tail Slap or whatever it is. What is Pikachu's attack? Slam and do 10 damage. So that's going to end the game, but I do get to show off why this deck is fun. As you can see, I used Giga Impact last turn. That means that I can't use it again this turn, but because Dodrio's on my bench, I can retreat Haxorus number 1, send up Haxorus number 2, and Giga Impact all over again. So, like I said, if you get it set up, it swings 120 every turn, which is fantastic. And it can hold its own against a fair few decks. Tier 1 decks, basically going to eat it for breakfast, but it can win, and it's Haxorus, so that's cool. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and I'll have more TCGO coming your way shortly. Thanks, guys.